All right. They tell me I'm live and everything. So, hello everybody. How is your Wednesday? Hope you have a good one. And welcome to, I guess, the start of this SpeedGaming marathon, raising money for No Kid Hungry. And they asked me to be the opener for this marathon. And I can just say that I'm really honored to be chosen for that. So, yeah, super much appreciated. And yeah, it's going to be several days full of really cool speedruns. And yeah, I'll be starting off with this run of Shantae and the Parts Curse. It's gonna be in part mode, and let's just go into it and I'll talk some more as we go through the game. So if everything is working out well, I think we're ready. So time starts in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, and we're off. So yeah, this is Shantae the Parts Curse, the third game in the series, and this is a special mode called Pirate Mode, which is basically a new game plus. And normally you collect pirate equipment throughout the game, but in this case you have all of that right away, and you can do lots of really cool sequence breaks, and it will make for a lot of speedy action. So you will see that pretty much as we start running here. Lots of dashing, and so here we go. We go through a skull town, and we try to hit a couple of guards here. We try to build up a certain amount of gems, and I'm going to try and see if I can hit some of these guys. Thanks for the good luck, everybody. So yeah, as you already saw, I'm already using some of my items here. I have these boots that I can dash with. I have this hat that I can fly over gaps with, and lots more things. You'll see more of that later on. There's gonna be some really cool strats where we can use that. So I use a pipe ball there. That's one of the items that I get in the beginning, like right away from Sky and Ballo. And we're gonna use that to heal some of these enemies, but also we're gonna use that with the first boss fight here. That's gonna be really soon, so get ready for that. Got 25 gems. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright, so Ammo Baron, first instance of RNG in this game, you could say, because we wanted to do a certain action, but there's a possibility that he does the other thing. So he does throw these cannonballs sometimes, and that's what we want to see him do, so we can send these red cannonballs back. That way we can beat them. This is actually really good luck so far. This is way better than normal. See what the third round brings. Oh, nothing but cannonballs. That's actually really good. So, what the Ammo Baron can do also is he can ride his tank into those crates, and he does tend to do that very, very frequently. So that can cost you quite a bit more time. So it's like an additional 10 to 15 seconds or something. So yeah, this is actually really good. So yeah, now we have some story here. So it turns out that the mayor of this town sold this town to the Ammo Baron for a box of waxy chocolates. And in the meantime, Shantae is getting these court summons, and she's grounded for the time being. So we can't do much here. So yeah, it's a bit stressful. So what do you do? Well, we're gonna take a bath. Sounds very relaxing, right? I mean, that's pretty relaxing. I like to take a bath. Turns out, though, that Shantae has never actually owned a bathtub in her life, so this is, as they call it, a trap tub. And for those who know the Shantae series, yes, it's set up by Risky Boots. She's sort of the main villain in the series, usually, but in this case, we have to sort of work together, because her henchmen, these Tinkerbats have been turned into Cackle bats by means of dark magic, and we have to beat them in order to get the dark magic. So we have to sort of work together here in this case. Gonna see how this fight goes. Okay. We have to hit him a couple of times. It's not really much of a boss fight, if anything, but we still have to deal with this specific Cackle bat. So yeah, this is the one instance of dark magic we're gonna collect in this run. If you play a category called All Dark Magic, you collect all 20 instances of them, and that will get you a longer ending, a longer boss fight. But that's of course for later. But anyway, that's what it looks like. So here we are, Skull Town. We're gonna go to our friend Sky, and in order to get out, we're gonna borrow this library card, which of course totally looks like us. Sounds like a good trade. Yeah, I mean, that's a good trade. I mean, who doesn't love chocolate, right? Right, mandatory save here. Also think at Shantae games you always have to save somewhere. In this case, it's like 4 minutes into the run. And we're gonna shuffle our way out. Okay, it's time for some item grinding. We have these scarecrows. They can drop some really good items. We hope that they drop some good items because that's definitely gonna help us. So there's food items, there's pike balls, there's monster milks, which can help us in battle. And well, it didn't drop much there, but we have another round, so we still got some to go. Bento box, by the way, is one of the food items. Those are also useful. You'll see later on why. So the Squid Baron, you see him there, he lets us into the sewer, so we have to collect 3 flash pops in this case. And we're gonna do that by sort of spamming them from the top of the roof there. I think I have 4 now, nice. Because I need 3 in total for a group of zombie kids who are hungry for flash pops. I don't know what flash pops are supposed to taste like, but it's probably good. But yeah, by bonking against the ceiling with the sword, sort of down stepping there, you can sort of dupe your items. So that way you can grab more than 1 item from a certain slug. Yeah, the soundtrack is really good. It's made by none other than Jake Kaufman, or as he's also called, Verts, who made a soundtrack for lots of other games. So the story here is we meet the Squid Baron, who is kind of fed up with being the mid-boss of every single Shantae game. So we're gonna send him on a holiday, give him the brochure that we just acquired, and he's gonna give us squid oil, and we're gonna use that later. So you'll see eventually. The funny thing is, normally this is a lot more Metroidvania-esque if you play this normally, not in pirate mode. But playing it this way, especially in the speedrun, it becomes quite a lot more linear, funnily enough. So there's certain sections that I was just now that you cannot get to like right away. So you have to sort of backtrack eventually, normally speaking. Right, that's our job done in the library. We did grab a map item which we're going to use to travel across all the seas, and we're going to see some really cool stuff. But first we need to do some more item grinding, so... Ooh, we got a super pike ball. That's a really good drop, actually. That's also... pike balls and monster milks are always good to drop, really. So that's not bad. Lobster tail, another food item. Like I said, you'll see what they can be used for later. First we're going to return the library card. We get a free amount of 100 gems. And that can be used for our first shopping round. Oh really? Also prolific on OC remakes. Oh yeah. So our first shopping round involves us buying 3 pirate flares and 1 super pike ball, which also was the item that I just got. But yeah, you can always buy more of them, of course. So there's going to be a couple of shopping rounds in this game, and there's a bit of variation to be had there. So it kind of depends on how many gems you have and what items have dropped. So it's a bit random, but there's some fun to be had with what you may wind up getting. Ideally, you want to do as little shopping as possible, because if everything just drops out there in the open, that would be much more preferred. So yeah, now we're on Saliva Island, and you may wonder why is it called Saliva Island. You'll see. It's a bit of a peculiar name for an island, I admit, but... So just gonna dash over here. We're gonna visit Twitch and Vinegar, and they want to have a holiday and they want to swim. And well, you cannot really swim if there's no body of water to swim in. So that's where we get in. We're gonna grab this ham stink because reasons. And this is another sequence break. We're just gonna climb our way up here because normally we would have to go across these statues and everything, but this is much quicker. And also, I paused and unpaused there because you can do a tiny animation skip there, where this monster, this Giga Lomax, is not blinking with his eyes and just instantly starts opening his mouth. So it's a little bit faster, which is always nice. Anyway, yeah, so there's your Saliva, I guess. They're literally swimming in saliva, I guess, so they can now start their holiday. In the meantime, yeah, we got this Petrify spell. We'll be using that very soon. Normally you get this ring that you have to use somewhere, and then you can get the Petrify spell eventually, but we skip all of that. So I'm just gonna go over here and visit this dude over here, who wants to awaken his wife, and we give him the Petrify spell in hopes of doing that, but, well, that's not quite happening. Yeah, I'm saying there's gonna be a lot more smells and everything in this game. This is not even the first instance. So anyway, yeah, that effectively opened up this gap here, so we know where to go next. This is the first den we're entering, the Spittle maze. And first thing we go is right over here. This is a bit of a throwback to the first Shantae game on the Game Boy Color. And this is a very handy area because you can get 2 keys here, so that's like really cool. So here's the first one, and this is what we use the food items for. We override the key pickup animation because it's slower than the food animation. So that way we effectively save like 1 or 2 seconds every single time you do that. So you can sort of grind for food items and do that every single time and save some there. But what I usually do is I try to go with whatever food I wind up grabbing. So I typically don't really go out of my way to grab all of the food items, so that's the thing you could do. There's runs who do that as well. So it does leave for lots of customizations. Okay, so we're done with that. See if they drop anything. Oh, nice. Wow, this is really good with the drop so far. So monster milk is very useful later on in this den, because we will be using that to get a little bit stronger. First we're gonna go over here. So this is where you normally acquire the pistol, and you use that to shoot through these tiny gaps like that. And yeah, that's making it easier to hit things from a distance. Alright, so this is where I use my monster milk. If I can menu, I'll do my best. There we go. We have these webmen. This is a type of gauntlet, really, and we just pogo up and down. And because of the monster milk, we do more damage. So that's making this a lot faster. Alright. And then it's time for our first actual boss. So I hope you're all ready for the one-eyed Cyclops plant. And I hope you're all ready for the longest first phase ever. I advise not to blink, because that was the first phase. You just cram yourself in between there. That's literally the thing. Second phase is gonna be a bit more precise though, because we have to sort of get ourselves towards the ceiling and sort of do damage that way. But yeah, also thanks to the monster milk, that's also going a little bit quicker. There's this phase where he shoots lasers at the bottom on the floor. And we tried to take him out beforehand, so by doing those downward stabs all the way up there, that makes it a lot quicker. Alright, so now we have first of our map items that we collect. These Tinkerbats always drop the map for the next island to go to, so in this case, we're going to Spiderweb Island. We'll be getting back here later though. There'll be some backtracking, but first off we're gonna make our way back to the ship. Gonna see what Risky's up to. Of course, Risky's been waiting for me to get back. Alright, it's time for Spiderweb Island. And yeah, there's gonna be spiders, as you would be able to tell. This is home to many speedrunners' favorite. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say favorite. There's a certain section that speedrunners know in this game, and it's right here, and it's a thing. It's a sort of meme in the community, I guess. Ooh, that was Nice encounter. These ghosts can be so mean. They usually appear in certain fixed positions, but they can be so mean. They can be causing quite a bit of knockback, so I was trying to prevent that, and thankfully it didn't happen. So I got another sub item that I will be using later. Thanks to the cannon ball, or thanks to the cannon, I was able to grab that. But yeah, normally that would take a little bit longer, of course. But anyway, here we are. We got the Spooter, and now we're trying to save Ruddy Tops because she got in a little bit of trouble. And then she's like, "Oh, I'm coming down something. Can you please take me home?" And this is where we get this section. It will last for a couple of minutes. It's called Run Run Ruddy Tops. The music is very hype. The hits are instant, so I'm trying to make sure not to get hit by anything, if possible. See lots of stake hands, and there will be a lot more. Rest assured. Okay, so how often do you think I will get hit? Let me hear the guesses in chat. Okay, that's one. So how many hits will I get in total? This is actually really bad. Normally speaking, this is not supposed to happen, but this first gatekeeper is actually kind of mean. Okay, so that was, what was that, 3? Anyway, let me hit a total. It isn't 0. It isn't 1, it isn't 2. But it can be a thing sometimes. I try to fall in between the gaps there sometimes if I can. If I let go of exactly the right moment, of the right direction, I can get myself in between there, but if I don't get it, then it's very easy to get sniped there. So I was trying to prevent that. Right, now we have all these spike walls that I have to wait for, so this is where I have to be a little bit more patient. In the meantime, we get to enjoy more of this epic song. Right there, we can just land over there. Doesn't hurt a bit. Cannot grab us. But yeah, this yeah, you could probably see now why this is a quote-unquote favorite amongst speedrunners of this game, because you cannot skip this section at all. You have to play this part. Also, these guys are a lot of fun. You have to watch out for these tombstones, because there tend to be creatures underneath them, and they tend to move about randomly, so I have to make sure that I see them in just in time so I can jump over them. Speaking of jumping... Oh no, what did I do? I suddenly did a thing. I did it again! Anyway, that's part of the deal to make this run legit. Those are the so-called stake jumps, also kind of a meme. You can see that the hitboxes on the stakes are a little bit off, so you can just jump in there and you won't even get hit by them, so like, that's pretty cool. Okay, now we have all these smooching robots right over here. We just have to avoid them, of course. They're very smoochy. Okay, and that's what I usually call the first part of this section. It's gonna be a few more screens. To be fair, we've had most of this already, so yeah, this screen is nothing too bad. But now we're getting introduced to another group of creatures called, well, these guys call spitting things, and we usually call them Stevens because we had to figure out a name for them. So there you go. These are Stevens. They spit out things, and that's all you need to know. Oh, this is quite the setup. Let's see if I can do this. I have to move slowly, and okay, there we go. Got that jump. That's part 3 of making this run legit. This is called the taco jump. It was, amongst many other things in this game, was found by another run called Esco, who discovered a lot of speed tech in this game. So shoutouts to them. It made the run what it is for sure. And this room is the longest and also quite a run killer if you mess up here, because yeah, it's just really long. You don't want to get sniped anywhere. But that was good, so we in there. Yeah, Shantae's carrying Roddy Tops all the way. Because she's still coming down with something really bad, so we have to see what it is. And we have to bring her home to her brother Abner. So that's what we do here. And she's home safe. And then turns out she wasn't actually sick. She was just trolling us. So there you go. Anyway, that was the end of Run Run Roddy Tops. We're gonna visit our Abner's brother Poe, who we could give the squid oil to, because you can use that to fix up this bandwagon or this wagon, and that way we don't actually have to go through all of those screens anymore. We just have this shortcut that's created for us now. So yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Also, a thing is a shrivel thing. And it's very important to know that it smells, because you cannot skip this text box at all. So they want you to know it smells. Keep that in mind. Alright. We're going to use this shrivel thing here in order to gain access to the Cackle Tower. Alright. And in this Cackle Tower, this is, I guess, technically the next den, as it's called. We encounter lots of skellies, and I hope to get some good item drops. See if we can get them. Sometimes I drop pike balls, which is definitely a thing you want. Most nerve-wracking part of the game? Yeah, it can be. Okay, 2 pikes, that's good. So now we go into this room. At least that's what I normally do. You don't technically have to do it, but it's a nice way to possibly get another nice item drop. You try to defeat this bad gal, and hopefully she's dropping something really awesome, like the Super Monster Milk, which is definitely nice, nice item to have. Another animation skip. We grab this key. That's the main reason we get here, but yeah, it's also a nice bonus if you get additional items here as well. She can actually drop also a Super Pike Ball and also a Pirate Flare. That's a relatively rare drop. We sort of jokingly call it the Nori Flare, because Norimaki, one of the other runners, tends to get that Pirate Flare very, very often. So yeah, you never know what you're gonna get, I guess. So normally, so what we skip here, you're supposed to fly up into the sky here. You have to activate the swim machine, but we have these cannonballs, so we can just triple jump our way up there. So that does make it quite a bit faster. Oh, that was okay. Guess I'll do it the regular way then. I've had this happen recently also. It does screw up the cycle, so what I would normally do is kind of hard to do otherwise. But at least I know that now. We're still good. Alright. It's now time for our next fight. And you saw a bit of a preview there, but we are gonna fight a huge spooter. So beware. We're gonna fight the Emperor Spider. So this fight can be done quickly if you can get yourself knocked into, or if you can get yourself locked into the enemy's hitbox, which I try to do sometimes, although I'm kind of having bad luck with that right now. But I would just basically float up there, and I would try to just hit. I would just try to hit over and over again. Although, yeah, that's not quite working out, as you can see. And I lost my own potion here as well, so that was my health refill. So I have to be a bit more careful now, because if I lose my life again, I'll die. So I'll probably have to save somewhere at some point for marathon safety. But yeah, this fight can be tough for sure, and this was a relatively rough fight, but we still made it. Okay, time for our next destination. It's time for some 10-line island action. But first we're gonna use one of our pirate flares that we got. It's basically this item that makes you able to fast track or backtrack really quickly to the ship, so you don't have to travel the entire island again. So that's a bit of a shortcut on its own, and that's one of the items that we usually get in shopping rounds as well. Right, time for some sunnier environments. As we said, Sandline Island. The name says it all. Let's see, we're gonna defeat a couple of these small creatures. We got a bubble shield. That's also a really good item because I'm gonna use at least one bubble shield at the very end with the final battle. Well, I'll explain more about it later, but it's a really good item to have at the end. So first of all, we're gonna go here, and we're not gonna do much yet. We're gonna visit the Squid Baron, who actually was on holiday, but he didn't seem to be enjoying it all that much. But we cheer him up, and in return, he gives us these X-ray specs, which we're probably gonna be using later. So, yeah, in this case, we're gonna backtrack a little bit. So we go back to Saliva Island. We're gonna be collecting a couple of mummy sketches, which we'll use very soon. And we're also gonna be grinding a little bit for some gems. I do already have enough gems for the basic things I want to buy, so I tried to get at least 155 gems to get 3 more Pirate Flares and a Super Monster Milk. But I'm gonna see if I can grab some more stuff, because I can possibly bundle things together and buy some more Pirate Flares, which I would do later on. So gonna grab that and then make it over here. Oh, there was another item drop. I wonder what it is though. I'll never know. But anyway, we have these sarcophagus, and we're getting mummy sketches from them, and we need 3 in total. So that's part of the backtracking. So now we go back to Skull Town, where I'm pretty sure lots of things have happened since I was there the last time around. They're renovating, as you can see. And yeah, here they also bring us this sarcophagus, and the sign says don't read, but they do so anyway. Or at least Joe does. And oh no, Joe's petrified. Rip Joe. And that means the engagement between Joe and Sky is called off as well, because they were supposed to be engaged. Ah. We'll visit them later. I can tell you, by the way, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. See this, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna buy Super Monster Milk. So I basically combined the 3rd shopping round as well, because those 2 extra Pirate Flares that I got, I normally try to get those later on in the game, but hopefully this will be enough. Also, what you see me do there, I've done it quite a few times, but there's this dash that you have to charge up, but by using both the D-pad and an analog stick, you can sort of charge it up whilst sort of running around, really. So you don't really have to make a straight line, but you can just wiggle in a smaller area, and you can also activate the dash that way, and that's really essential for the speedrun, because there's certain smaller platforms where you can really use that. More skellies, hopefully more pikebill drops. We got a couple of them. And so we got the final mummy sketch, and that gives us this combination, Gator, Lion, Lion. So 1 Gator, 2 Lions, and I'm going to use that combination very soon in order to gain access to the temple here. So I just got to remember it for a bit. Gator, Lion, Lion. It's not too difficult to remember, but see. That's a Gator. That's very nice. And then here we have a Lion, and then we just need a Gator. So I usually do a downward step there, and funnily enough, that oftentimes sets it up in a way that you only have to spin a few more things and you get the combination. So now we're in 10-line temple, and so it turns out the princess of the temple is missing, and they accidentally mistake Shantae for the princess. So they want to celebrate her return whilst she's being held captive. So we try to escape, and we now have this stealthy section called Metal Gear Shantae, where we try to avoid all these guards. And it's very important that I don't get seen by any of them, because there's going to be an increased time loss as we go through this section. So, see, nice jump there. It can be a bit scary if you lose jumps there. It can be tough to recover from that. Got another key. Okay, over here. Okay, that's by far the scariest jump, I think. Let me talk some more as soon as I'm done with this part. But yeah, that first jump, if you miss that, you'll be seen, you'll be sent back, and if you get caught over there, that will lose you like pretty much a minute on the run. So it's a frisky situation for sure. But we made it through just fine. So yeah, we did collect those keys, and you wonder what it was. Well, we used those keys here to save all of our friends. So we need 3 keys in total for respectively Risky, Sky, who for some reason were all heading over here. Because they all got mistaken for the princess. Which seems to indicate that the king is not very good at reading faces. And also Ruddy Tops, because of course Ruddy Tops. It's such a funny thing. I mean, how do you do it? Anyway, we have all our friends together now, and we can pull this massive rope, which opens up this relatively small door, because you would expect large ropes with big doors, right? So, and here's the king. Gonna finally confront him and tell him that we're not the real princess. And hey, there's the actual princess. She went out shopping for 30 minutes, but she's back. So now we're finally free. Huzzah. Okay, so we got this golden pickaxe, which we're gonna give over here, hand over here, and they can tear down this wall. And that's gonna be where we're continuing from next. They run away because, oh no, enemies, monsters. Good moment for us to see what items we have. We only have 1 super pipe ball. That's not a whole lot, but it might not be too bad. You can actually get super pike balls and such from these Scorp gals. I only do that sometimes, really, but it's a possibility if you want to grind for some extra. There's a relatively big chance that they get dropped there. But as we go down into the next den, we'll have a few more chances there as well. So we're going to go into these lost catacombs. There we go. And so we're gonna... Oh, what's this item? Oh, it's a monster milk. That's always nice. It's not a super monster milk, but it's always good to have as a backup, really. I do use them rather frequently with some of the boss fights. And also, I totally missed those shots. Because I'm trying to defeat this Scorp gal as well. See if I can do this. And... I didn't drop anything. Too bad. At least I tried. There we go. Gonna head down these purple blocks. You sort of try to spam certain inputs, but there we go. Okay, gauntlet room. You have to defeat all the enemies. This mantis can be quite a bit of work, so I'm always happy when I'm able to emerge from that without dying. That's a super monster milk. That's really good, and that's a super monster milk. Hey, those are really good drops. Okay, this part. See if I can do this. Ah, I crouched. I was trying to set up for something that's called the one-cycle catacombs crusher, and it means if I'm able to dash at exactly the right moment, I can make it underneath there all at once without getting hit whatsoever, and that saves time. It's a bit precise though, but it's a really cool trick. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll do it that way. I have all the monster milks, by the way. That's really good. Monster milks are... the super monster milks are really rare drops, so that's really good. So, yeah, as it turns out, the Square Baron is the mid-boss of this game once again, so history repeats. And now we have to fight him once again. I was a little bit too far away there. But yeah, this is the fight where I usually equip the super pike ball and the super monster milk, because it does speed up everything considerably. And now it's 2.0, he's got this extra shield and we break it down like instantly. He's gonna move around a little bit more and then starts eating. That's what we want to see, because you can deal a lot of hits in that during that part. So that's what I hope for. So yeah, if you have like weaker items, it does take a little bit longer, so you have to keep that in mind. But otherwise, it's pretty much as long as it is here. So yeah, we have a bit of a talk, and seems like Squid Baron is finally content with being the mid-boss once again, so we solved this crisis sort of, which is nice. And with that, it's time to leave 10-Line Island. We get the map for the next island, but first we're gonna briefly backtrack to Scuttle Town because we need to swap around a couple of items. And that's right over here. We're gonna meet Bolo, who can definitely use this fossil and the extra specs that we got. And as you can see here, it does make Bolo very smart, so that's always nice. And then we get this death mask. And that's the item that we will be using in order to gain access to certain parts of Mudbug Island. So you do kind of need that. I had it happen in speedruns before that I completely forgot about it, and I was heading further into the island and I just couldn't do anything.
Let's go!
So yeah, for those who've played this casually, this is a normally pretty tough stretch because there's all kinds of enemies hanging from the ceiling and all kinds of blob-like enemies. But in hard mode, it's actually a lot easier. You can just dash all the way through. So it's quite a difference. Also, what I tried out with that save guide over there is I tried to set up for a so-called momentumless boots. So what you see normally is I have to sort of recharge my dash there, but there's a way to maintain it, and that's by jumping at exactly the right moment. It's a bit of a precise trick, but it's yeah, it's fun if you can pull it off. So yeah, we needed the death mask to enter the village of Lost Souls, so we're finally here. Also, get the wall there. So much for that. Okay, and over here we're gonna collect a couple of coins. Why do we collect a couple of coins, you ask? Well, we're gonna play this coin game with a group of coin gamers. It's basically this heads or tails situation where we have to guess heads or tails. So as you can guess, that's gonna be rather RNG heavy. We just hope to get some good results of that. See? Do this. There's another instance of me sort of doing the risky shuffle, but there's also a thing called the delayed charge, where I carry my charge animation into the next screen, and that way I can set up for the dash on very small platforms, because normally I would have seen my dash interrupted, but in this case I just kept it, so that's always nice to have that. Okay. These ghosts, by the way, are scary. I tried to get past them, but this part can be quite a run kill for sure. I kind of want to save here, actually. Let's just do that. I mean, it's a marathon. Normally, when I speedrun this, I only save in the beginning, so if I would die, I would basically be sent back 4 minutes into the run. So, you know, it's kind of tough to recover from that. Oh, that was a setup. Always have to be careful. There we go. Alright, we got the 3 coins. It's time to play a game. And we're gonna try and guess heads because, well, why wouldn't you? They do sometimes say tails, but we want them to say heads. Of course, the green one says tails, because why wouldn't they? Okay, and this one... Okay, that was still not the worst. It goes up until 4 tries. So if you get the combination wrong 4 times, they give you the right answer on the 4th try. So if you just guess heads, by then you will get through. So it's not like endless, thankfully. Okay, we got this locket from a girl, or we got something, and we gave a. Oh, hold on, I should explain it better. I got a locket from the coin gamers. I gave that to the girl. We got this hopeful flame, and in return we got the manly busk. There we go. There's a lot of items suddenly being exchanged. But yeah, like I said, there's more smells. We have the Manly Musk now. We use that to gain access to the next den here. And this is going to be called the Oubliette of Suffering. And this is the den where we typically get the, or where we normally get the dash mechanic, the boots. So, since we have that, we do skip a lot of this den. We do skip like roughly 70% or something. Like it's a really short den here. So we're gonna head down. So normally you'd have to do all kinds of things, and at the end you dash through this block, but we can do that like right away. So that's what you skip. Okay, gonna save it once again because Dagron, that's the upcoming boss. Dagron can be mean. Dagron can be quite the run killer. And especially with an auto potion, I wanna take my safeties here and there. So you'll see how this fight goes. I don't think I have the optimal items, but at least I have all of the monster milk, so that's good. But we don't have a super pike. That's a bit of a shame, but we'll see. Still see if we can do this somewhat quick. Okay. Yeah, just gotta make sure that I know where the Dagron lands, and hopefully I can pop him on the head and deal some ground hits. At least I'm trying that anyway. Okay, that was still good. It would be a little bit longer though. And eventually you start speeding up, and this is where you may want to take it easy, because if you lose it, it can be very easy to completely die to this boss. But we survived, so you know, that's good. Was a little bit of a tougher fight. I realized that with without super pike balls, it's also taking a little bit longer. But you also need to get hopefully lucky with some of the Dagron spawns, I guess. So yeah, because we're in the village of Lost Souls, we also get this Lost Soul. Of course, the question is, who does this Lost Soul belong to? And that too, we'll find out eventually. Oh, I've got this self charge. I can still do it here though. That's kind of the nice thing about the risky shuffle. You could just stand on there and just do it as normal, and it still works. So I couldn't use the pirate for that like right away because I'm technically inside. You can only use that item in outdoor locations. So it turns out the village of Lost Souls was inside. So we had to do a bit of traveling there. Alright, it's time for Frostbite Island. Let's see where this brings. So, we have some dashing once more, and we're gonna be hitting these wolves. Hopefully we get some good items out of them, because they tend to drop super pikes and super monster milks. Those are relatively rare drops, but it never hurts to give it a try at least. We have this combo between Ammo Bear and they're hatching some plants apparently. What is that all about? We'll find out. Some more awesome tunes. Oh, that's very likely either a super pike or a super monster milk. I'll never know. There's a bit of trade-off, like, do you pick up the item still, or do you keep carrying on? Because at some point you're way too far past that item. So I think I may have missed a drop there. We'll never know. Oops, I jumped over that one. Yeah, truly true. That's absolutely true. The entire series altogether. I mean, Jay Kaufman composed music for most of the Shantae series, except for Seven Sirens. But yeah, it's just so good pretty much all across. Okay, so now we're in Propeller Town. We climbed all of these chains, and we're suddenly all the way up in the sky. And you would think that this is specifically made to show off the dash mechanic in this game, because these screens are really long. Like, they stretch out for quite a bit. Now we just go up here. Gotta beware of spikes. Spikes are still insta-snipe. They don't insta-kill you, but you still have to watch out for them. We got the return of the Kissy robots. I know you missed them, so here they are again. So the main thing we do here is we go all the way up here, and we're gonna visit Bolo. He's right over here. And he's gonna give us a certain item. You can actually, if you have the auto potion, you could technically do a skip a couple of screens back, and you can skip some of the platforming that I just did there. Anyway, there's Bolo. He's up to something, question mark. And he gives us this targeting module, and what is that all about? Well, we'll see, because we're gonna backtrack. First, we're gonna head off to Spiderweb Island. First thing to do is see what the deal is with this lost soul, because yeah, it seems like people on Spiderweb Island might have a bit of an idea what to do with a lost soul. Who could it belong to? Well, we'll find it out. So yeah, now we have this shortcut, which is always nice. No Roddy Tops Redux or anything. Still safely at home. So we get this lost soul, and turns out it belongs to Barracuda Joe, hence the mustache. So now we can also deliver this death mask, and we get a free pirate flare. Not a bad thing. We can use that to head out of here. If I wouldn't have done this additional shopping round or additional shopping bit, I would have only had that as my only pirate flare, but turns out I had some more. Let's see. Ooh, I don't have a lot of that. I think I'm gonna buy 2 super pike balls, because usually I have a little bit more of that, but it turns out I don't, and it's really good to have them for the next 2 fights. Right. So here we go through the scarecrow fields once again. We don't hit the scarecrows this time, because we've already gotten all of the items that we need. And it's also slower, because as you noticed, every single time you hit an enemy whilst dashing into them, there's a few frames where it slows down for a bit. But it gradually builds up as you hit more enemies in the same charge, or the same dash. So there's that, but it does sort of build up, and it starts off losing a little bit of time there. So we got this blade on Tenline Island. We're gonna give it to Legally Distinct He-Man, aka Branson. And now use this pirate flare. If we place it in a different position, we can do the so-called nut buster, and you can probably figure out what I mean by that. But yeah, that was that. We finally awakened Joe, because now that we know that the spirit belongs to Joe, we can bring back to life. Yay! But also, the engagement between him and Sky is called off, because Joe's like, I want to be free again. So apparently he had some time to think. So he's gonna help out here. Installing this module, which seems to be aimed for the palace on Skull Town, but well, this is not the palace, as you can see. It's opening up this gap. So what's going on there? It's probably our next den. So time to head to our next goal. Yeah, this time around I don't have to hit any wolves anymore. If I had fewer pike balls, I may have opted for it, but again, the chances of dropping, getting this drops from these wolves is not the biggest, so it's probably just as well that I got them beforehand. So now we're in the abandoned factory, and again, this is also relatively short den, because we do skip a lot of it. Although we pretty much have everything already, but yeah. Just gonna head down here. Using the final keys in the game, so shouts to keys. And yeah, very soon we'll be fighting another very RNG heavy boss. So this run is full of it. There's lots of random bits and pieces of RNG. That's also part of the fun, I find. You never know what you're gonna get with each run, so it's also there's always some excitement in that. Bear party, here's our nose. So now we fight the steel maggot. And oh, that was actually good. I need to figure out in which combination I have to press these buttons. So in this case it's 1, 3, and oh, use the bubble. Oops, I guess I have to buy myself another bubble shield then. It's fine though. But yeah, you have to sort of figure out the combination and then hit it from the tail. So we just hope to get it first try, really. So I'm just trying this. Oh, it's 1, 3, 2 once again, which is not the best combination. We'll live. And okay, just play it safe here. There's also this thing that you could do where you can sort of get yourself cramped in between that lower ceiling and the tail, so you can do these poker strats. It's actually faster to do it that way. You have to time it somewhat precisely, but it's a fun way of trying to optimize this. Alright, that's a final map piece there. We're heading to the Lonely Grave. Hope you're all ready for some Lonely Grave action. Because there's gonna be a lot of it. I promise. Don't believe the name Lonely Grave. There's more than that. Alright. It's a bit darker, the moon is out, as you can see. Also, shout out to this bird. A grave party. Oh my. Well, yeah, this is literally the island. There's just this grave. But yeah, there is a pirate master who winds up kidnapping Risky Boots. And now we have to rescue Risky Boots in a funny turn of events. So they're heading off to the palace in Scuttletown, and we have to go there ourselves. So we head over to the ship and moist the main snail, as they say. And head back to Scuttletown, which is suddenly looking a lot darker. Oh yeah, and I need to buy this extra bubble shield because I accidentally used another one here. But thankfully bubble shields are not very expensive, so I can just grab another one. And I had enough gems for that, so that's good. Alright. And now we go through these fields. The scarecrows have gone, but everybody else is here, as you can see. So just try to go through here. Don't try to hit anyone here. Here's a funny thing that I'm gonna try and do. I'm gonna head over this gap, because normally speaking we created this gap down below there, but it's closed up once again. So like I said, the thing is with enemies, if you hit multiple of them, it does sort of build up and decrease the amount of frames that you lose. But yeah, in this case you could just skip that entire section. Okay, time for the tower climb. This is also home to a couple of trials that you normally have to do, but we can actually skip all of them. So we just head up here and use our hats and our cannonballs to make it all the way up here. Still get that, that's good. There's a couple of extras here. But you have to make sure to especially time the cannonballs rather precisely so you have enough height still. But there we go, that's good. Okay, I'm gonna save it once again because otherwise I'll have to start over again from quite a while back. You wouldn't want to see that. But yeah, it's time for the final boss fight, in this category at least. And time is gonna be on the final split, but you'll see that of course. Gonna equip everything here. This is where you use all of the super items. You hope to get good RNG with the placement of the Pirate Master, so this is pretty good as a start, you know? And just go across the screen like that. Looking pretty good. This is a part where we have to sort of watch out, especially since we lost our auto patient, but I'm trying to deal additional hits here. You can technically stand on those platforms, but it's scary. See, it's gonna stand over here, and get ready. And time. Okay, sub 54, that's a very nice time actually. Very satisfied with that. So yeah, this is technically the first phase of the boss fight if you play the full game, or if you play it entirely. Because if you collect all the dark magic, you wind up having this other part of the boss fight, and it's really epic. There's some really cool stuff going on there. But yeah, this is it for 80%. So we don't quite see the full ending. If you play the full ending, you get all your genie powers back and such. But yeah, they'll be for some other time, of course. But there you go. Yeah, this is on PC. It's also been released on other systems. It's out on the Wii U. It's out on PS4, on the Switch as well. Xbox 360. Pretty much most systems, really, I think. So yeah, there you go. That's Shantae in the Parts Course 80% pirate mode. Thanks for the GGs, everybody. Yeah, like I said, that was a pretty good run. My current PB is 52-minute flat. I've been trying to go for the sub 52, but yeah, I've been getting close. So yeah, the total stats in-game time is a little bit off from the real time, of course. But yeah, there it is. All right. With that said, that's concluding my run. Hope you all enjoyed. I can definitely recommend playing this game if you haven't tried it. Casually, it's also a super fun game. You have all these... yeah, it's just so much fun with all the dialogues and everything. It's hilarious. I should play it again casually at some point. But yeah, also a really fun speedrun. So if you're looking for your first speedrun, or if you're looking for another speedrun, I can recommend this one. The speedrun community is really awesome too. If you want to know more, there's a link to the Way Forward speedrunning community on Discord, on speedrun.com. Sorry, the link is there. So if you want to find out more, you can join that. So yeah, shoutouts to them. Shoutouts to my family who are currently watching, I think. Shoutouts to my friends. And also, yeah, massive shoutouts to SpeedGaming for letting me be the opener of this marathon, raising money for No Kid Hungry. And I think there have already been quite a few big donations, so that's really awesome to see. Be sure to keep donating for it. There's going to be lots more cool speedruns the next few days, so definitely check that out. But yeah, thanks to them once again. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you around. And have a good one. Take care.